aesthetic are being sacrificed. And that's, if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you gotta feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
I'm sorry about that. I have it set to automatically shut the show down, and I forgot to change that setting. My bad. It's like, oh, by the time I realized it was too late for me to catch it. So that happens sometimes. Sorry about that. I've been up. Okay, I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Okay, I've been running. I haven't stopped since I got up. Just doing everything. Taking phone calls, trying to get trucks moving, making dinner, cooking breakfast, taking dogs out for walks. So I'm actually really, really ready to go lay it down. And I almost was like, oh, I don't feel like doing the show today. I preach what I talk about. You got to push through these times when you don't feel like doing it. Sometimes you're just not going to want to do it. Okay. I know I got my old backdrop. I had to get my old backdrop back. Sorry, Christian folk, y'all don't like it. I'm not trying to. I gotta be me. I raised as a Christian. I studied Christendom upside down, backwards, and I've also studied other schools of thoughts. A lot of these symbols that we're calling demonic are not. They're not actually demonic once you understand what they are. But, that's not for me to force that upon you. I won't come to your house with it. I won't come to your place and preach all of that. But I'm in my house. This is my house. The Church of Infinite Abundance, Hakeem Barber Church, Hindsight Radio. This is my house. This is where the one place I get to be me. Okay, I'm going to be me. So I put it back up, and there you go. So I had to, get the show back up. So I didn't put the title back in like I wanted to. I'll fix that later. But I think the title of the show was Listen to the Message and Ignore the Messenger. Or don't pay attention to the messenger. Meaning, what do I mean by that? A lot of times we get people in our life that want to share information with us, but sometimes we just reject the information just because of who they are. We don't like them for some reason. And a lot of times you realize your dislikes of people are really not founded in any facts. Some people don't like you because somebody else talked about you or talked about them. Or, we have dislikes of people based off of not so factual information most of the time. Unless you sit down and you get to know someone intimately, you really don't know them. So, we don't like people just because we heard watch TV and they said something. Again, for instance, a lot of people didn't like Donald Trump. Now the whole country want him to be back president again. Just about. The Democrats want him now. All them Democrats that was out there singing in the streets when Biden won, them same ones are praying for him to come back. Isn't that crazy? How people's opinions can be swayed so easily about people they don't know at all. have strong opinions because they heard a sound bite here and there. Listen, if y'all don't understand that the media is severely and highly manipulated to give you an opinion based on the agenda of that day, you haven't been paying attention. That's why I don't fool with it. I don't get into watching news and all that. You sit there and watch the news, and next thing you know, you're thinking of all kind of negative stuff. Like Reverend Ike said, right? Reverend Ike says in one of his lectures, that evening news will give you a lethal dose. A lethal dose of negative ideas. And Lord, we don't need none of that. We don't need it. We got enough to go around. We got enough negativity in ourselves that we're trying to get rid of, that we don't need anything or anyone adding to it. A lot of us have a lot of negative self-talk about ourselves, to ourselves, that we don't need any extra. But like I was saying, sometimes the people come into your life and they have a purpose. No, they have a purpose for you. They have a purpose. They might have some information you really need. They might have the very thing you need to get you to that, push you right over that edge of unlimited success or big success. I wanted to find another word. Push you right over the edge of that next level. But because of your inability to separate the message from the person, say it again, our inability to separate the message, what they are actually saying, away from who it is that's saying it, we can't hear them because we're so locked in our judgment of that individual that nothing they say is getting through. It happens to me a lot. I'm sure it's happened to you. I'm sure I've been a perpetrator of it. I'm sure I've done that in the past. I had to learn that. I had to learn that took me that's a skill. I had to learn over time that don't dismiss something just because you don't like the person. You have to ask yourself, is what they're saying is based in some facts? Is there some truth to it? And that takes an emotionally intelligent and mature person to own up to that. To really say, hey, I don't really care for this person, but what is what they're saying a fact? Like, I'll use Donald Trump again as an example. For years, before he became president, when he became president, they used to, he filed bankruptcy. But what, But the people that had a negative viewpoint of him filing bankruptcy don't really know what they were talking about, or they even know what type of bankruptcy. You think Donald Trump, the person, filed the bankruptcy, or did he file bankruptcy on a business? But see, the news will say he filed bankruptcy. No. If a business files bankruptcy, that business is filing bankruptcy. Just let me show you. Let me prove my point. Many companies file bankruptcy yearly. Throughout the years, over the years, I've heard companies going out of business, or they just file. A lot of them don't even go out of business. They just file bankruptcy to protect themselves from the creditors. They don't say a person's name. They'll say, I remember when Circuit City was going out. Circuit City filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Woolworth some of y'all young folks don't know this store. Woolworth filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They never say a name. But when Donald Trump came along, they said Donald Trump filed bankruptcy. They weren't. See, that's what happens when you get into a situation where people want to give you their narrative to paint a negative picture of someone. That's what they do. They do a play on words. And if you don't understand these things, you're gonna fall for that every time. That's why I tell you guys to study. Read for yourself, understand stuff. You see, but most people that was a talking point. He can't be because he filing, but he don't know how to do this. He don't know. Well, I saw it different. I said this man's a billionaire and he's filing bankruptcy. There's something to this bankruptcy thing. See, a thinking person would think that way. But it's like I always say, the people that may have these strong opinions. Most of them are they're working class people, meaning they go to jobs 9 to 5s. So their schedule is so full with fulfilling somebody else's idea of being wealthy that they can't even think for themselves. So they have to just follow what the news say. Most people are following someone, something, or someone else. They're following what somebody else said. They have no real research. I get into these types of conversations a lot, like sometimes. And the best way to kill a conversation that where a person is spewing out their opinion, you just ask them to show you the proof of what they're saying. All of a sudden, the conversation turns. They start deflecting and moving on to something else. Just say, okay, well, if that's the case, well, do you have an example of what you just said? Well, I can't think of an example. But see, if you're gonna make a fact or say something, you should be able to know. Boom, this is it. Just it. That's why I'm very careful about spewing my opinion. If it is my opinion, I'm going to tell you what it is. But anyway, you got people around you, some people, now it's not a lot, that are willing. Let me say it like this. I know people who refuse to listen to someone just because that person uses curse words or they curse. Like only the best example I could think of is Dan Pena. He cuss everybody out. He's strong language. I mean, I wouldn't. That's not my personality to behave like he do. But he's a very wealthy man, and he's made a lot of wealthy people. He's helped people become wealthy. I've actually spoke to someone who went through his whole class, went through that 2-week class that he does out there in not actually London, I think it's Scotland. Out there in the UK. So if you're a person who wants to emulate success, you go be around successful people. And I'm gonna tell you, I working at the World Trade Center for all of those years, I worked around a lot of guys with money, lots of guys filthy rich, some in the middle. I mean, but they had money, and those guys used the most foul language ever that I heard. Some of the things coming out of their mouth. So if not cursing is an indication of your success, it's not. That's I know many examples that's not true. We have to get to the place where we spiritually that we're not judging people by a curse word. Well, because they're using curses in their sentences. If I had allowed that thing to interfere with me, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be here where I am. When I worked with someone, that's all they did was curse all the time. But he was at a level of success that I didn't achieve at the time. And a lot of times, those people like that are more authentic. See people running around here trying to sound like, one of the apostles and guarding their words. A lot of times you find those same people have a lot of skeletons in their closet. But if you meet a person who's just open and they just speak their mind freely, say it how it is, I can relate to a person like that. We take offense. A lot of people take offense to the smallest thing and not look at the big picture of, okay, this person has whatever saying whatever, but what is the value of what they are saying? Then on top of that, is what they're saying matching their actions. Like I said, I know plenty of people that speak like angels, but in the background, they were ravenous wolves. Remember, the Bible talks about that. False teachers come with how? In sheep's clothing. Wolves, they dress up as sheep. They put the robe on and I'm this religious leader. Stand proper, but they fake. That's why Christ tend to hang out with the people that the world rejected or placed judgment on. Some of us are hanging out with a whole bunch of holier than thou fake folk. Getting nowhere. Pretending. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? What's that for? Yeah, I speak proper. I'm this, and I sit up straight. I walk this way. Listen, we have to start being real with ourselves and being natural, acting in our natural state of being. No one's saying you should be offensive to anyone. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is sometimes we have to look past and really look at the deepness of people. Because if you really pay attention to the deepness of people, the inner spiritual being of people, you'll see that there's greatness in everyone, no matter where they are in life. There's greatness in the guy standing on the corner begging you for $1. You see? There's greatness in everyone. The guy that's, you see, I see people standing around here all the time, same people all the time. And I had gotten to the point where I stopped giving them or helping them out or just giving them $1 here, some money here. And then I had to ask myself, why did I stop doing that? Because I started judging them. Well, they could do this and they could do that. That's not my place. It's either I'm going to help them or I'm not going to help them. I don't have time to start placing judgment on their life, on what they should and shouldn't do. If you feel like helping those people out, help them. Give them something. Even if you know they might run over to the liquor store and might buy some, something to drink. That's on them, what they do with the money. Where's your heart at when you decide to give? What are you giving for? You see? I'm going to tell you, when you give to people, you're really giving for yourself. You're giving for yourself. You're giving so that you can open up the divinity in you, because being divine or being a divine being means you're giving of yourself in whatever way you can without placing restrictions or judgment on people. And when you see those people, like the people who are homeless, they're giving you a message inadvertently. They're teaching you something. And they're teaching you, you know what? I need to appreciate what I have right now, what I'm doing now, because not too many of us is not that far from where he's standing or she's standing. Some of us, one financial setback will put you very close to that. A lot of your very wealthy people, there's a lot of wealthy people that used to be homeless. Remember, I think in an interview, Cat Williams was homeless for a minute. He left home. He was homeless by choice. He left home because he couldn't follow the rules of the house, but he's not homeless anymore. And sometimes when you get in a situation where things get that rough, it helps you appreciate what you have. And you can avoid all of that roughness if you appreciate what you have right now. And some of us, we have people in our lives that are trying to guide us and really help us the best way they can. And we're rejecting it just because of who it came from. I know, like even in my family, some of my people reject what I say just because it's me. Akeem, he didn't see that. I was talking to my sister yesterday, my baby sister yesterday. And yeah, I see you on YouTube trying to be a influencer. The way she said it, I know my sister loves me, but that's just how family handle you. Oh, he trying to be an influencer. They do that. Now, if you're sensitive and you one of those people that get easily offended, that will bother you. Don't let that stuff bother you. That's just the way they are. That's family. They don't see you in no other light but either the brother, sister, father, mother, uncle. That's how they see you. They don't see you. If you don't come from a wealthy family and they never experienced that, they don't see you like that. They see you like them. And when you try to do anything outside of what they're doing, wait a minute, what you trying to be? Hold on. You need to get back over here and be like us. That's not what they're saying, right out, but that's the implication. So if you are, let me flip it. So if you are the messenger, the person who gives the messages and people are judging you, let it be. So what? It ain't for them. It's for someone else. Move on. Don't get upset. All too often we get upset because people ain't following us or listen to whatever we have to say. And guess what? They don't have to. I learned they don't have to listen to anything you have to say. You don't have to follow it. Just be thankful for the ones that do. I find that my messages get through a lot easier, a lot quicker when I just don't care if they listen or not. When I just say, hey, whatever, do what you want. All of a sudden they listen. But when I be like trying to push it, they don't hear, I just say, you don't have to, they don't have to listen. And that, you know what? That reminds me of the scripture where Jesus told his disciples, when you go to the house and they listen, be joyful, be glad, and bring peace with you. But he said, but take your peace back when they don't listen. Okay. You don't have to listen. Peace be, let me bring my peace with me and keep it moving. Because that is a actual spiritual strategy. Because when you don't force it on people or you just play like, hey, it's not a big deal, they seem to want to be more receptive to what you have to say. Let's see who's in the chat. Oh, Road Warrior, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to you. Corinne is happy Tuesday, everyone. We're gonna be announcing a show. Corinne's gonna do a show with me. We got to figure out the day we're gonna do it. In La Vida, peace to all. Renell Brinskill said he hung in there. Yeah. Truzilla, that's actually my brother. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. He's in the house. Renell Brinskill says, remind folks God spoke through a burning bush. Absolutely. Spoke to a burn. Shoot, he even spoke to a ass. So, Big Ben Master Abel says peace. JG says peace, everyone. Renell Brinskill said that's why Woolworths goes. Yeah, they filed bankruptcy. That was years ago. Many, many years ago. And Renell Brinskill said Trump owns 250 to 500 LLC. He's a great businessman. Yeah. I tell y'all need to listen. Y'all need to open up some LLCs. Make sure you trust them so you don't have to report according to this Full Disclosure Act they came out with. I just gave y'all the game. And then y'all can create y'all some aged LLCs. You just sit. I have EIN sitting on the shelf. I did nothing with for years. I have them sitting here. Oh, Yazi Truzilla said facts. Yazi Yebe, he says Akeem used to be me, hello, but I stuck with him his information since 2016. Yeah, I was rough on folks back then. You know what why I was rough. I was very targeted on who I was rough with because some of the people I was talking to, they were just perpetrating behind the scenes and trying to front when they got on the air. And I don't really do very well with people who do stuff like that. I'm easy going now. C. King Bay said, peace, everyone. Above and beyond. And Korean people that pay, they pay attention. Absolutely. People that pay, they pay attention. That's true because every time someone came to me and they wanted something for nothing and I did it, I paid for it because I was violating the law of reciprocity. So you can't violate that law. You got to have people invest in your time, invest in you. If they want your time, see, when people try to come up to you and try to get something for nothing, they don't value you. They don't care about you. Because if people cared about you, they would pay you or offer you something for your time. I don't like taking anything from anybody. So like I got people who help me with two great people who helped me with my websites and stuff like that. All the stuff that I needed that I wasn't able to do for myself, they did it. Y'all about to see the fruits of all of that soon. I'm moving like now. I'm like I got to get it done before this month is out. Got to get it launched and gone. And start to flow some currency. Even if you don't have money, you could pay in some way. People have come, and I've allowed it. I've had people on my platform, they didn't have to pay a dime. And what happened? They're not on the platform anymore. Not because they're bad people, because I didn't make them invest in what they were doing. So they saw no value in it. So I'll never do that again. Never. My platform costs money. All the stuff that y'all see to keep going, it costs money, you know? Invest in yourself. And people will invest in you. I paid for trainings, thousands of dollars for training. So let's see. 7:45. What else I want to say? Let me see. Let me look through my notebook. I don't know why when I pull this out, I think of Blue's Clues. My kids used to watch Blue's Clues, and he used to have this handy dandy thing. I don't know. I pulled this out, and that's immediately what I thought. Let's see. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, I am forgetting something. So Thursday, this coming for Thursday, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Oh. Let's see. All right. I'm doing a free, and I know I said I wouldn't do anything free, but this is an intro. I'm giving donating some time to talk about unconstitutional child support enforcement procedures. That's Thursday at 9 o'clock. Here's the link to sign up. Those of you guys who want to do it and want to learn. All right. Yes, in the course of what I'm teaching, there is some fee-based stuff. If you want, need my help to work with you closely, one-on-one, there is a fee for that. But I'm gonna. This is really like a introductory, like showing you what the issues are and how you should be attacking them. And it give you examples of how I was successful with helping people do it. So that's just coming Thursday at 9. I know that's short notice, but if you know someone that needs this information, share the link. I'm gonna send an email out. So I've only got 20 spots that I'm only going to 20 people. That's it. 20 people. So I think I set up the link yesterday, so only a couple of people signed up so far. But if you want help, I know some of this stuff is keeping y'all burdened or got you enslaved. Get on it. Talk to somebody who's got have experience and success with it for a long time. And I am one of my own success stories. So not to mention the people that I helped. All right. So yeah, I'm a little tired. So I'm not a little. I'm a lot. I need to lay down. And what happens for me? I'll lay down for about an hour and be right back up. So yeah. All right. I look forward to working with Corinne with the new show that she wants to work on. We just got to get a day to do it. And I look for her and Steve, been working with them closely on my on the church website. I showed you guys that site before. I'll give you the link again if you didn't have it before. Oh, yeah, thank you. She said last week's webinar was great. Thanks, Corinne. So it's going to be some new looks on my new website. It's going to be a new look. New look. I'll give y'all, this is not going to be the URL, but this will get you to the webpage. It's actually functional right now. You go to akimel.com. It's going to take you to the old website. And pretty soon that akimel.com is going to take you to the new website. Here's the akimel.com website. That's the link to that. I tell you, before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you, and I say this a lot, everything you're trying to do, everything you're working on, everything you envision yourself having and doing, it's working for you. Oh, but Akeem, I can't see it. I can't have it now. I don't know. It's not there yet. It's not there yet because you just said that. Because you just said it's not there. So I just want you to realize what you're doing when you talk like that. You have projected in your mind that you don't have it, so therefore you don't have it and will never have it until you change your mind. Until you change your mind. And there is, it's a very well, I read this scripture all the time. It says, do not conform to the pattern of this world. What is the pattern? The pattern of this world is to think like they have nothing or they don't have something. That's what you conform to, just like everybody else. This is why everybody else don't have, because they see themselves as not having it. They see other people with it. Oh, he's got it, but I don't. So yes, you won't have it. You don't have it because you have passed judgment and conformed to that way of thinking. But be transformed by renewing of your mind. Renew your mind. You got to keep renewing it. Like, okay, I have that what I say I have. I have it already. If it's in your mind, you got it already. And you have to stay right there, envisioning yourself with it. That's why that people use vision boards. That's why they go to places they want a new home. They go to the home and they touch it, feel it, to make it real to them. You have to see yourself. If it's a new home, you got to see yourself walking through that at home. See yourself decorating it. Because the very moment you conform to the pattern of the world or how the world thinks, and you say, "Oh, you see yourself in the home," and then you see yourself but not being a home. See, I have done this one. So excited, I can have this, and you feel like I can get this. I got this. And then somewhere along the line, you start thinking, "Oh, something always going to happen to make me not get it." Watch this. Watch what happens. Watch what I tell you. Something's going to happen and I ain't going to get it. And then that something happens, but you blame it on some outside source is the reason why you didn't. No, you spoke that into existence. We do it all the time. Oh, things be going great, man. Something about to go bad. Things going too good. So you're programming yourself. You have programmed yourself to believe that things can only go good for a short amount of time until something goes bad. We have to unprogram that. We have to do exactly. It says, do not conform to the pattern of the world. So that means don't conform to the way the world thinks. And what does the world represent? The lower consciousness of your mind. But be transformed by renewing of your mind, then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is. What is God's will? Your will. his good, pleasing, and perfect will. You have to be perfect in this will, meaning you cannot deviate from the path of seeing yourself as having those things that you desire, as if it is in your hand physically now. You must hold it in this spirit. It says, store up. Let's go to that one. See, I thought it was over. I thought it was over, but it's not. I thought it was up. It's not. Matthew 6:19-21. It says, do not store up for yourself treasures on earth where moths and vermin destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. See, your treasures need to start here. Where moths and vermin do not destroy. Where the negative people and things can't destroy it. If you store it here, it can't be destroyed by the negative things. And where thieves do not break in and steal, the thieves can't break into your mind and steal it unless you allow them in. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Store them here. Keep them there. See yourself having all the good that you desire. And with that being said, peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. You guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.